Hello, Bacho. How are you? Hi, hello everyone. My dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your Vignesh, and today let's start our new session. That is our class 2 of physics. So, in the last previous class, we have discussed about the basic introduction about what is motion and what is the relative thing of the motion and related examples of the motion, whether body is said to be in motion or not. And we also discussed what is distance, displacement and speed and velocity and the difference between them. Now let us deal with some particular problems which we generally face in our real life situations, so we can clearly understand what is speed, velocity, distance, displacement with these particular examples or problems, whatever you feel now. And without any delay, let's get into our session. Okay. The very first question is: person travels half time at speed v1 and rest half with time speed v2. Find the average speed. It's telling that now today is 2nd September, right? Okay, and it's our physics class 2, and it's all about our motion chapter. And our first question is: a person traveling half time t by 2 with speed v and half time t by 2 v2. It's telling it's traveling two different speeds v1 and v2. It's asking to find what is the average time. Person, let's say A, in total time t is traveling half time t by 2, half time t by 2 in v1 with v1 speed. It is speed, it's not velocity, students. It is speed v1 and v2 in time t by 2 and t by 2. First t by 2 and second t by 2. Now we have to find what is the average speed of that person. Yes? Yeah. Now we know speed formula is nothing but distance by time in general. Here is asking average speed, that is speed average or S average is equal to the distance travelled in time t by 2 plus the distance travelled in next time t by 2 by total time taken. Yes, that means here you can observe that you want average velocity. For average velocity calculation, you need the particular distance in the equal time gap or time interval, whatever the distance he traveled, with the total time taken gives you the average speed. Now let us try to find this distance travelled in first 0 to t by 2 seconds. What is the distance travelled is, let's say d t by 2. First dt by 2. This is I will mention the dt by 2, and this one dt by 2 dash. From t by 2 to t seconds, whatever distance is mentioning traveling as dt by 2 dash I will mention. Okay. Now this distance, we know distance formula is equal to velocity into time. Here velocity is v1 into time is t by 2. Okay. And here dt by 2 dash is equal to velocity is v2 into time is also t by 2. So let's substitute that in that formula. So our S average, I hope it's visible, our S average becomes first distance t by 2 is v1 into t by 2, second one v2 into t by 2 upon total time is t by 2 plus t by 2, that is t. Okay. From here, let's take 1 by 2 common. Tt will be get cancelled and v1 plus v2. So our answer is v1 plus v2 by 2. This will be the average speed, students. Please note it down, because these kind of problems will really help you to solve your problems in exams particularly. They don't ask you directly what is average speed. They ask you some different kind of question, but the approach you need to be, now to apply average speed in some particular questions, you have to apply instantaneous speed in some particular question. So in order to solve instantaneous speed is, you can apply direct formula like this: speed is equal to distance by time here. But when you want to calculate average speed, you have to consider the total distance time taken, total distance traveled in some given intervals of time by the total time taken, and the distance in particular interval of time you have to measure like this. The distance in the particular time is equal to velocity in that particular time into the time given. Got it? So if you have any kind of doubts here, you can please mention your doubts or any queries in comment section. As usual, I am very glad to help you all. Please take a screenshot of it. Okay, our second question is all about distance. Let's see. I'm not writing question here. I'm just mentioning the question details. That means, like as of now in geometry you have given details, right? Same way here also I'm mentioning. I'm orally expressing the question. I'm just writing the brief details of the question. I'm not mentioning the whole question still. Okay. Now let's see. A particle is at 15, 0 it seems, starting position A, and it went to position B, minus 2, 0 it seems. Okay, then it went to again point C, 17, 0 it seems. Don't say that sir 15, 0 is here, means minus 2 will be this side and 17 is this side. In general I am drawing like this. I am not sure about direction and all, just I am mentioning those 3 points. If there is any query, I am removing this line. First point, second point, third point. Particle is moving from here to here, then here to here. It is asking us to find distance traveled and displacement. It is asking to find both of these, distance and displacement in the whole path. Okay. Sorry students, this is asking us to find, there is a point A at 15, 0 and there is a point B at 17, 0 units. I am not mentioning here it's meters or centimeters, whatever it is. It may be at 15 meters, then at 17 meters, like that and so on. Okay. Now point C is at minus 2, 0. That means this is the first point. It is moving like this on x-axis, and again it is coming back and coming to point C like this. Okay. Now we have to find the distance and displacement covered by this body. Okay. There is an object. It is moving from point A 15, 0 to point B 17, 0, and then from point B to point C, that is minus 2, 0. We have to find the total distance covered by the body and as well as displacement covered by the body. Let's solve this question. Before going to the actual solution, just think of this. This particle is in x-axis. Okay. This is the x-axis. Let's say. Okay. In x-axis, first it's going in the positive x direction at 15, 0. Let this be our origin, and just immediately to that there is 17, 0. It is traveling 2 units. Yes, because the distance is only 2 units, right? It is traveling 2 units, and again it is going back, that is minus 2 units from origin. It is coming backwards here. This is C, this is A. Now coming to the solution, you see, first let's calculate the distance. Okay. Distance from A to B. What is the distance from A to B? Plus what is the distance from B to C? Okay. Distance from A to C means distance from A to B plus distance from B to C. Okay. What is the distance from A to B? It's 2 units. You have to just consider about magnitude, not vector form or not any direction in this particular distance problem solution. Okay. Just see what is the value of the units which is moving by the particle. Okay, 2 units it's moving, and from B That is 17 comma 0 to minus 2 comma 0. What is the difference? 17 minus of minus 2. Here if you want, I can write it clearly. 15 minus 0. No. 17 minus 15 is distance from A to B, and here it is 17 minus or minus 2 minus 17. You have to take the absolute value because distance is always positive. Take the absolute value only. So here it is 2 units plus here the value is minus 19. So take 2 plus 19 is equal to 21. So total distance covered by the object is 21 units. That means body is traveling 2 units to the right and 19 units to the left. On a total it traveled 21 units. Okay. Now let's find out the displacement. Displacement is always, it's about initial point and final point. What is the initial point A? What is the final point C? Let's plot only A and C. A is here 15 comma 0 and C is here minus 2 comma 0. What is the displacement? Here displacement means the difference between these 2 points. Both are in the same line in a single particular direction in the negative x-axis. So displacement is point C minus A. Here you don't keep the magnitude because displacement is not positive, not negative, not zero. It may be anything. It's not any fixed value I mean to say. Okay. Now here the final point is minus 2 minus initial point is 15. This is a bracket. It's not a it's not magnitude. So minus 2 minus 15 is minus 17 units. Units. That means the displacement is minus 17 units. You got this minus because of negative x direction. It is moving in negative x axis, or the displacement is 17 units to the negative x axis. Okay, or displacement is minus 17 units, you can say directly. As we consider our positive x axis with plus sign and negative x axis with minus sign, you are getting that negative value because it's moving in the left direction, right, in the coordinate plane. That's why you got this minus 17 units. So this is all about distance and displacement. I hope it's very clear. If you have any kind of doubts, please mention in the comment box. Yeah, you can take a screenshot of it. Next question is our graph. Which of the following would be not possible with respect to distance versus time graph is telling. Distance versus time graph. It's a graph question. Distance versus time graph. Here distance first graph is like this, option A, which is not possible. Our question is which is not possible. Option B is like this. Option C is like this, and option D is like this. Okay, I hope all the graphs are clearly visible. As you can see, it's a graphical kind of question. We need not have any kind of solutions over here in a mathematical form. Just observe here, as the time increases, in option A, as the time increases, distance remains constant. That means the particle is at same distance from initial position to final position. It's not moving in any interval of the time t. So the distance is 0 or sorry, the displacement may be 0, but distance is fixed. That means with respect to an object, the body is said to be at a distance d. Let's say it's a distance d. Let's say, okay. Now, within certain time interval t also, the distance remain constant. That means this distance will remain constant. That means body is said to be at rest. It's not moving. Distance is not changing. The distance is constant. So it's not moving. Okay. Body is said to be constant. Okay. So this is value. Next, let's come to last one. Okay. Now here the distance is varying exponentially. Distance is varying exponentially. As you can like distance is equal to with respect to time. Distance is equal to some 2t square plus t minus 1. Some kind of equation. Yes. With respect to time, like t varies from 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Distance may vary. It may be some linear graph sometimes, but here exponentially sometimes. It's also valid because as the time is increasing, distance also increasing linearly. So it's valid. It can happen. Okay. Coming to option B. Option B is like if we divide in some intervals, at particular initial t0 time, the initial time 0 time, it is a particular distance d. After some time t, it is increasing distance linearly. Here it is constant, but here it is increasing linearly. Yes, it can be distance is equal to some 2 plus, that means fixed distance, let it be 2 meters like something, and some t by 2 etc. That means it is moving with a constant change. That means it's moving linearly with some t by 2, let's say here. So this can also be happen. What about option C? As the time is increasing, distance is decreasing. This cannot happen because a particle is moving from its position means the distance will change from initial point to final point, because whatever is moving and coming to back its original position also, let's say, still the path covered, whatever the path covered, it won't be 0 or it won't be negative also. It will be positive because distance is always a positive parameter. If it's not moving, distance would be 0. But if it's moving, then distance is definitely positive. Here the distance is fixed. Here the distance is varying linearly. Here exponential. But here distance is decreasing. That means it's negative. So this is wrong. This is not valid. Option C is not possible. So that is the answer. Please take a screenshot of it. Very classic level of problem. Have any doubts in the graphical problem or any kind of problem regarding this motion chapter, please mention in the comment box. Take a screenshot of it. Yeah, let's solve the next question. In very first question we have seen that in time t by 2 and t by 2 it's traveling with a different speeds v1 and v2, and what is the total average speed we found out. Now it's traveling distance d by 2 with a velocity of, so question 4, it's traveling distance d by 2 with the velocity of v1 and traveling distance d by 2 with the velocity of v2. Now we have to find the average speed or average velocity. Yes, it's average speed only. Speed average. Again, it's related to first problem only. But thing is, there we had t by 2 time, but here d by 2 distance. The total distance is d. Let's say total time is t. Okay, let's find out the average speed. We know average speed is equal to total distance by total time. Yes, I hope you are clear with this up to now. Total distance is, first this distance d by 2 again plus d by 2. Okay, this is anyhow d. And total time, what is the time in this interval? For this interval, what will be the time is, we know time is equal to distance by velocity. Yes, from distance is equal, from velocity equal to distance by, or speed, no? Speed. Time is equal to distance by speed, we know. From speed is equal to distance by time formula, we can write time is equal to distance by speed. Here apply the time taken to cover d by 2 distance. First d by 2 distance, let's say t1. The t1 is equal to, distance is d by 2 by velocity is v, sorry, speed is v1, and time taken t2, that second one is nothing but distance covered is d by 2 with the speed is v2. So let's substitute here, d by 2 by v1 plus d by 2 by v2. Okay, now d by 2 into 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. dd gets cancelled, 2 will go up, by v1 plus v2 into v1 v. So finally you get 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 is the average speed. This is your average speed. It's that simple. I hope it's very clear, because here this problem is exactly similar to the first problem, but the only difference is there they have given time intervals, here they have given distance intervals, d by 2 d by 2, there it's d by 2 d by 2. You can also check the results also, that will be almost similar, but whatever the expression you are getting here is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. This would be the exact average speed of the body with respect to the given question. Okay, please take a screenshot of it. And next you are getting a very classic level of problem. This problem is really important because this kind of problems really checks your IQ. Okay students, our fifth question is very classic level of question. It's a mixage of our first question and fourth question. That means a person is traveling half of the distance with speed v1, and in the remaining half distance, half time is traveling with the speed v2, half time is traveling with the speed v3. Okay, in the very first question, in half of time, if we travel, what is the average speed there? Here he is asking to find the average speed of the body. Here the average speed will be v2 plus v3 by 2. I can clearly tell from my first question. If you have missed the first question, go back to this video again from starting, resolve first question and come back here. So this average speed will be v2 plus v3 by 2, and here speed is v1. So average speed formula is whatever we derived in the problem 4 is v1 v2 by v1 plus v2, right, multiplied by 2. 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 is our question. Now v2 here is not v2, this part, the second part is v2. So in place of v2, I am writing this as v2 dash. In place of that v2 dash, I will mention now v2 plus v3 by 2, and here also v2 plus v3 by 2. So this 2 gets cancelled. v1 into v2 plus v3 by It is 2 times again, it comes in the numerator 2v1 plus v2 plus v3. So this would be our expression. It is 2 times of v1 into v2 plus v3 by 2v1 plus v2 plus v3. It's that simple, students. There is no confusion in this because it's clubbing of first question and fourth question. Here it's time interval, here it's distance interval. So here you are directly taking the average speed from first question v2 plus v3 by 2. Here these two are taking as direct equation from fourth question 2v1 v2 dash by v1 plus v2 dash. Apply the formula and get the answer. Any kind of queries regarding this question, please mention in the comment box. I would love to solve those queries, and please take a screenshot of it. Okay, fine students. This is our session, a very minimal session with all particular details regarding graph problems, regarding distance, displacement, average speed and all. So regarding velocity and other problems we'll discuss in our next session. Hope you would like this session very much, and I would love to know your comments in the comment section, and any further improvements also you can please mention. I would love to take it in a very positive manner, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it with your friends also. Share the knowledge, and please like the video and subscribe your valuable, I would love to say, become my family in this era of my lectures. Okay, and signing off, your Vignesh. Bye bye.